guitar players hear drop C tuning, they think of metal riffs, right? But drop C tuning can do a lot more, from dreamy soundscapes to grungy rock riffs. And today I'm going to show you 3 unusual applications of the drop C tuning. And the first one is this. I think that sounded pretty fresh for drop C tuning and not at all like metal. And while we're at it, if you're interested in getting access to the tabs and this exact backing track to this song, the riff and the solo, check out my brand new Patreon community called the Jones Club, because that's where I drop this kind of material every single month. It's the perfect place for you to get new inspiration, so check it out in the description down below. Now back to our example. What did we actually do to achieve this kind of dreamy soundscape that sounds like desert rock meets something exotic? Now, short little reminder what drop C tuning actually is. It means we're tuning our guitar down to C, G, C, F, A, D. And that gives us the opportunity to play an open C like this. Now, if we keep those E and A strings droning all the time, but we're adding a melody just with one finger on the D string, everybody can do that. You get into this dreamy kind of soundscapey feel. And that is exactly what we did with that riff in the beginning. And that is how you can use drop C in a completely different way. Remember, what you need for this is not a high gain sound. You need like a semi-driven sound, edge of breakup kind of thing, and then you're adding some delay. And you get this super cool exotic kind of vibe, and that just screams desert rock to me. And this sounds completely different from that usual application of drop C tuning that most guitarists use when they're just playing one finger power chords to sound super heavy. This sounds completely different because we're using a different aspect of that tuning to create something cool. So try that. Oh man, that is so cool too. That is the next example I want to show you. I call this the moving chords. Why? Because in drop C tuning, as well as in other drop tunings, you can use one chord shape and just change a tiny thing, and you have chords diatonically up and down the fretboard. Let me show you what that means. So let's start with the C chord for this, but not down here. We use it an octave up here. This is a C minor. And the logic behind this chord shape is we have 2 strings that are tuned to C, the E string and the D string. So both these strings here are Cs. So that means we can fret them in the exact same fret and we get the same note, just in octaves, right? Like this. Ring finger and pinky. And then we can either add the major third, which is 1 fret down on the G string, or the minor third, which is 2 frets down on the G string. So it's basically this for major and this for minor. And this counts for the entire fretboard. So that means we can move this chord around easily because we're never changing the shape, we're just changing the position on the G string. We go. something like that. And with that, you get this freedom to move chords around. Now, let's loop these 3 chords and see if we can come up with something that sounds new and original. Now, I want to try some lead lines, just improvise a little bit in, what are we in? C minor, right? It just sounds so good. I think that just sounds super inspiring. And by the way, if you're interested in learning that style of soloing, that style of playing, check out my melodic soloing guitar course in the description down below, because that style of playing is totally learnable and I teach it in my courses, so check it out. Okay, now, third thing that you can do in drop C tuning that is totally underrated is play some sort of like a Midwest emo kind of thing, where adding certain chord voicings really makes a difference in how your guitar sounds and how that inspires you. Let me show you. Now, in every drop tuning, not only drop C, you have these 1-finger power chords, right? And that's what most guitar players use who want to play heavy rock, metal, and all that kind of stuff, right? But if you're more like me and you appreciate some melody in your riffs and in your chords from time to time, then that's really easy to do in drop C tuning. And what I mean by that is we're using these power chord shapes here like this. Power chord shape in the 7th fret here. But if you want to add some cool chord voicings, that is really easy with drop C, because 2 frets up and 2 strings up is the 9 for every power chord. So instead of this, we have, and again, if we're adding a little bit delay, we have a mid-gain tone, and we move this shape around. We get these cool kind of washy which on its own sounds super nice. But now you might be saying, Joey, that's not news. You can do that in every drop tuning. Why would it be specifically drop C that sounds so good with these kinds of 9 chords? Let me show you why drop C is very special. This is the same riff in drop D. You hear that? That sounds very bright and pretty happy, right? But let's not stop there. Let's try drop C sharp. I like C sharp. It sounds good. It sounds nice, but nothing compared to drop C again. You hear that? Drop C just sounds hopeless. It kind of sounds super emotional. It's the ultimate melancholy, and it's just right up my alley. All right, that just goes to show, if you don't want to use a high gain sound, if you're not a metal guy, if you're not a metalcore or a heavy rock kind of guy, and you just want to have some cool inspiring melodies, it's definitely worth it tuning down to drop C and getting into these different examples. I just showed you 3. I hope that was inspiring to you. And if you like this video, please subscribe. Click the bell icon so you get notified every single time when I upload a new video. We do that stuff all the time on this channel. Tons of inspiration, tons of cool licks, tricks, and everything in between. I've been Joey, and I'll see you in the next. Bye-bye.